What?
Make it go up a little bit? Ellie, how do we make it go up?
Here, first hit the live button before it goes off. Oh, it's live. No, it's fine. It just has to be. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Welcome back. I really missed you. You got your seat back?
Which book?
Okay, beautiful.
Oh, it's done.
Today's shir is sponsored Lili Nishmas Ruchama Chaya Fruma Bas Reb and L'schos Gershon David Ben Masho. You have tape? Somebody? I don't know. All right. Good morning, evening, Reb Eli. I'm an avid listener, first-time caller. Firstly, your life story is truly a Kiddush Hashem, but your excitement and delivery of every daf is nothing short of brilliance. May Hashem continue to give you the koiches and chizik you need to encourage others to start Daf Yomi. Take a look. This guy is giving me homework. Take a look at Rabbi Yosef Nechemia Kernitzer in his drushes regarding this medrash. I couldn't get a hold of the sefer tonight. Okay, neither could I. Anyways, he goes through a pshat. He has a beautiful pshat here that basically, chesroinus is one owns deficiencies and the nisyonis, and you have to help other people. Ari, batzlocha, bracha batzlocha Ari. This is from our friend. I like this one only because it's a nice steak and everything, and I wonder what he does. This is your brother, but it says Mariano's. You guys know what Mariano's is? It's a supermarket in America. You go in there, you get some meat, and you tell the guy to fry it on the spot, to grill it up. He's working hard, Avi. He's a trial lawyer. He's catching a meal on the go. Oh, and here's our friend from Manchester. Hi, it's me again. His name is Shuli Josephs.
Eli, the Manchester guy said that these emails don't represent all of Manchester.
What?
The Manchester guys told me to tell you that these emails don't represent all of Manchester.
They don't. No, this guy's good. I like this guy. I wouldn't listen. If he's not good, I wouldn't read it. I get other ones from Manchester that I... First, I would like to really thank you for an amazing shir. I find it difficult to attend my local shir every day, and I feel so at home. In Manchester, how do they spell shir? I'm getting a lot of shur. I don't know, maybe because it's the type thing. I don't know. To attend my local shir every evening, and I feel so at home watching your shir. It's a real lifesaver. I recently traveled to Reb Shaya in Kirstir. Motzi Shabbos found me in Liverpool Airport learning with you. Sunday evening again learning with you in Budapest Airport. Got to tell you, this is the first time I've opened up a Gemara in the airport, but I'm sure it won't be the last. Getting back to my main point, I clearly remember 30 years ago when I learned in Manchester Yeshiva, the Yeshiva used to stand the side of the bima to listen to laning. If someone had an aliyah and mixed the Melech HaOlam, the Rosh Yeshiva would bang his holy hand on the bima and say out loud, Melech HaOlam! And the poor guy would have to repeat Melech HaOlam again with a space between the two words. You can bet your bottom dollar nobody made that mistake twice. He explained to the Bachrim that when you rush it, what comes out is Melech HaOlam. He really pumped it into us, the importance of paying attention to what, and we have to suffer here today. As a side note, he always said brachas from a siddur. Again, thank you for your unique way of making all the loimdim feel so connected to your shir. Kol Tuv Shuli Josephs. Okay, now I understand it a lot more.
Where's the burn?
The burn.
It's time for another email.
Hey.
It's been a while from the burn.
And finally, we have a beautiful picture that was hung up in, I believe this is Torah Shalom. This is of Gavriel Lin coming to our daf every day. Somebody snapped a picture, sent it to the principal, and the principal insisted that it should go up on the wall in the cheder. So here he is. So now he's on the wall, he's in our shir. Where's Gavriel? Is Gavriel here today? He didn't make it today. What did he say?
He should have made sure he was here.
Baruch Hashem, we have a tremendous amount of kids that are learning the daf every day. And we're going to make a beautiful siyum. All right. Zok Tehillah Gemara. Well, I got to open my Gemara first.
Welcome to the guy.
Yeah, we have a chashuv guest from, where are you from? Highland Park, Chicago. Wow. David Dimbert. And he brought us a beautiful matana. This is the second guy that brought us coffee. Only the difference is he roasted himself. This is the real deal. Oh, so where's Gabriel Lynn? He's here? Gabriel, you made it. Here he is, just in time. He doesn't come for the emails, guys. He comes for the daf itself.
Smart guy.
All right, Zok Gemara. We're holding on the bottom of Lamed Chesam and Beis. Last line. It's like a trick question. Rabbi Yochanan, we just discussed Rabbi Yochanan eating an olive that was a salted olive, meaning it was cooked. The question is, what shear do you need to eat in order to make a bracha achroina? A kazayis. And guess what? He was eating a zayis. So how in the world could he make a bracha achroina on a zayis when a zayis has a pit inside and it's not a full zayis? It's a great question. Rabbi Yisai, once the shear starts, I'm asking, please don't use those machines anymore. It disturbs the olam. Kivin the shkilo legarine, botzele shiuro. Once you remove the pit with inside the zayit, inside the olive, you don't have a shear of a kazayis. Omalei mi savris kazayis gadol binon, kazayis benini binon. Who told you what the shear of kazayis? Kazayis is a medium olive. And therefore what? They gave him a really large zayis, and therefore he made a bracha on it, and he was yaitz, and he was able to make a bracha achroina. We're talking about the bracha achroina, which needs a kazayis. Even though you remove the pit, you'll still have a kazayis of the middle shear, since this was a very large olive. It's not zayis sha'amru loy kadam legadol elo beinini. It was the medium one. V'zo a goyri. It's called an a goyri. Don't ever make the mistake calling it a goyri. It's called ivroiti. V'amrila simroisi. Simroisi shmoy. V'lo menekar shmoy a goyri. Sheshamnoi agur b'soichoy. A goyri means that its oil gathers within it. There are only two fruits that we are aware of that have their juices gathered within it. And that is a grape and an olive. Grapes, like if you leave grapes as is, they'll start dripping out. You don't have to squeeze them necessarily in order to, you do, but in other words, the juices are gathered in it. Apple, you have to do something, you have to squeeze it, you have to really squeeze it hard in order to get the juices out.
You said it orange.
I have people asking about it. I don't know if they had that. Maybe. That's how the Gemara describes it. Fine. Rabbi Yisai, question. Here's a great question you can ask your family, but as soon as you ask the question, everybody's going to know the answer based on the fact that you're asking the question. If somebody takes a pot, fills it up with water, and in the water he puts a bunch of vegetables, doesn't add any salt, doesn't add chicken, nothing. When he's done cooking the vegetables, he takes a spoonful of liquid. What bracha do you make on that liquid? What? Who said Adama? You're bucking shots. Forget you. Who else? Adama. Why Adama? It's liquid. It's water.
It's not vegetable water.
Okay, so that's the right answer. It is Adama, but we're going to see that today. That's what we're going to be learning. Not right now. That's for later. Anyway, says the Gemara like this. We have a halacha. If you have, somebody has to give a leader back his seat. He sits right over there somewhere, next to Leiby. So if Mirz Hashem tomorrow you come, you get your seat back. He was gone for a month or two, but he's been here for 2 years. Rabbi leader. He's sitting in the back. All right. So, what?
Seats here at a premium.
Yeah, but he already was kind of seat. He has a good chazaka. Fine. If a person has two foods in front of him, one is an apple and one is potato chips, what bracha do you make on first? The apple comes first. Ha'etz, ha'adama comes before shahakal. Let's say you have two fruits in front of you, an apple and an orange. What bracha do you make on first? The one you like first, the one you like more. Now, says the Gemara, Nei mikatanoi. This machlokes that we had the other day of cooked vegetables, what bracha do you make on it? Perhaps it's a machloikis tanoim. Now notice, the Gemara calls them tanoim. They are tanoim. The end of the story is not very good. These tanoim died because of this story. But they were tanoim. Don't think that they were just simple talmidim. Neimika tanoi. The Hanu Trei Talmidei. There were two Talmidim, Tanoim. They were sitting in front of the Bar Kapara. Heviu lefonov kruv uder maskin upargios. They brought in front of them three foods. These are the three foods based on the art scroll. Pargios, and if you look in Rashi, Rashi actually says, what's pargiod? We know pargiod is chicken breast. Rashi says perdria, partridge. That's where they got it. So it's a smaller bird, partridge bird, but it's meat. In addition, they brought kruv. Kruv is cabbage, but it has to be cooked cabbage. And that's the sugya. It's cooked. What bracha do you make on cooked vegetables? In addition, they brought this mountain spinach, or whatever. Now, which one of these would you eat first? And which one would you make a bracha on? Most of the people here would make a bracha on this. This is the most interesting of all of them. So that's what happened. Says, shakal. Yeah. Why not? It doesn't cover vegetables. Shakal doesn't cover vegetables. If you make shakal on soda, on a drink, you could. Says Gemara, Nosan bar kaparu rishus lechem mem levarach. Says Rashi, we're talking about the middle of a meal. They made a hamaitzi, but this hamaitzi doesn't cover these foods because they're not something that you put on your bread. Doesn't cover it. So he told one of the Talmidim, he said, go ahead, make a bracha for everybody. Be mighty everybody. Kofatz, uberach ala pargiyos. We had yesterday also the Lashon Rebbe Kiva was kofatz. He jumped without asking any questions, without asking Ramliel. Over here also, to make a bracha. He jumped without asking his Rebbe, Bar Kapara, what bracha do I make first? He decided right away to make a shahakol on the pargiyos. Ligleg olav chaveroi. His friend, the other Tana, started laughing at him, made fun of him. Koaz Bar Kapara. Bar Kapara is really upset. Omar, I'm not upset at the one that made a mistake in the bracha or not. I'm upset at you making fun of your friend. But not just because he made fun. There's a halachic problem here in the way you made fun. It's if your friend loves meat, there's also a concept called chavivos, what the person prefers. Now I have to understand the story. What brachas do you make? Now if these two, the cooked vegetable and the meat is the same bracha, Bar Kapar makes a lot of sense now. It goes by what you like more. He likes meat more, so he made a bracha. If this is a hadama, we have a little bit of a problem. We have to understand what's going on here. And then he regretted it a little bit. And he said, listen, I'm not saying that I'm not upset at the guy that made a bracha. I'm upset at him too. Why? Maybe you're smarter than me, but I'm still older than you. I have more experience than you. You should have asked me what bracha to make. Go do it. You make the bracha. Ask me what, if there's a shayla in halacha. Tana, says the Gemara, Ushneim, lo yitziu shnasam, they didn't finish the year. They were nifter. How do you see that?
We're saying that you need to make a new bracha.
No. No. Lulav pas is a concept in a Suda. When we say hamaitzi, it includes everything that we're going to eat soon, and provided it's part of the bread. But if I bring in candy in the middle of the meal, I bring in something extra, I bring in dessert, you have to make a bracha on dessert. The hamaitzi doesn't help for the dessert. Okay, so he decided it is. Rashi says that this is not part of the meal. This is a treat. This is pargiyos, this is a treat. These are all treats, and they're not included. And that's a side halacha that we'll get to. Zog Gemara, my love, perhaps this goes back to our machloikis. That they have the same bracha, the cooked cabbage and the meat are shahakol. What comes first? Whatever you like more. And the one that made fun, He said, wait a minute, the cabbage is ha'adama. Ha'adama comes before the chicken, the meat. Hilkoch peira adif. Says the Gemara, and therefore we have a machlokes tanaim. Yes, they both died, but they're tanaim. And we have a real machlokes here between these two tanaim. One says that cooked vegetables is ha'adama, and one says cooked vegetables is shahakol. Their Rebbe was upset at them, but they're tanaim. Says Gemara, Loi, that was not the shiloh over there. It was a different shiloh that they had. It's possible that everybody agrees that cooked vegetables is shakal. They argued in something else. Cabbage satiates you a little bit more. It's more of a filler, and therefore the melagleg, the laughing guy, he held that you should make a bracha on something that fills your body more. And the other one said, no, I enjoy meat more than cabbage. That's why I make a bracha on what I enjoy more.
Why would you make it with spinach versus not
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
That's why spinach also cooked?
I don't know. I don't know if the spinach. He's asking if they are both shahakal. How come we forgot about the spinach?
If the cabbage was cooked, maybe
No, what's the answer, boys? Sorry. Said a veal lefanov. They brought in front of them all three.
yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to eat it at all. Maybe he was going to eat it. I don't eat spinach. Who eats spinach here? I don't know. It's a good horror. We got to think about it.
Maybe it was cooked, just like the cabbage.
Go Stefansky. It's Jonathan Stefansky. Orev Zeira, ki avinon beiravuno amalon, hani garlide delifta. Turnip heads. If anybody forgot what a turnip looks like. He told him to do it, but once you have a suffix like that, once you have a
He didn't have a
shayla.
suffix. He felt that with halacha. He didn't have a suffix. Clearly cut up and said halacha. He told him to do it.
You see that he was mechavedim bracha, and
He
there's
didn't have a suffix. He didn't have a suffix.
but his friend had a suffix.
His friend had a suffix. He
Okay,
didn't
so
have
that's a suffix. So you ask your Rebbe.
His friend had to ask. He
In
didn't
front,
have to ask.
no, we're both arguing, and obviously he didn't hold like him. He didn't hold like him.
Catch 22 of it. The guy said, do the thing. He does the thing, then he kills him afterwards. That's what
He
happened.
didn't kill him.
He killed him.
He was upset at him because he didn't ask. You got to be careful
what his
when
Rebbe
you're
said,
Tana. You have to
then
be
he-
careful.
then he
Zok the Gemara, Rav Zeir, ki avinu beirav hu nomer lon haniger gelide de lifta. Turnip heads. Parminu prima rabba. If you cut them up nice and big, bari priadama, it doesn't lose the original form. So it's adama. Prima zuta. If you dice it up into small little pieces, now it loses its form. Shakal niya b'dvaroi. Interesting. The size destroys the form. We had that the other day. If you trima, you mash something. Trima is not mashing a lot, but if you mash it a lot, the Gemara said in truma, you ruin it. It's no longer truma. It's not. You ruin the form. Rav Yehuda argues. He says no, even if you dice it up small, but he gives a good reason. Typically, without this reason, it would be a shackle. Why? He diced it up really small in order to make it sweet. Let's say you dice it up and it doesn't become sweet. That would be a problem. You wouldn't make a hadam on it. Tafshila de silka. You have some beet dish, a dish made out of beets. You don't put flour in there. Where are you, Sammy? This morning, because of you, I took this test. And I got this answer wrong, and I think I was right. I'm looking at it, I think I was right. But look it over. Whoever gets that test, it's the YU test. It said, why is a beet dish that has flour in it, why is it Bayer Pri Adama? What is the answer, Rabbi Yisai? The lifta, the mafshuba kimcha tvei Bayer Mizonis. Why is it? What do you think the answer is? Why it has flour in it? Because consistency. Who says binding? You say binding. Why you guys says binding? He says, I go with him. Consistency. How do I know that he's right? Because of the continuation. I got a 0 on that answer. I don't know. I think I'm right though. I have to contact him. What? But look over here. It says, V'hada Amar, idi v'idi bari pri adama, dahai d'shaliba kim chatfei l'dabuki ba'alma avdila. She says, maybe I skipped this. It says, the lifta, if it's beets and it has a little bit of flour, it's ha'adama. If it's turnip that has a lot of flour, then it's a mezainos. V'hada Amar, then he took it back. Idi v'idi bari pri adama, dahai d'shaliba kim chatfei l'dabuki ba'alma avdila. The turnip, the reason why it's still adama is because it is to bind. The other one, the first one, the beets, why is it a hadama? Not because it's there to bind, because it's not relevant. It's just to give something, whatever, I don't know what. Not to bind and not for flavor. So mamela, it's not a mezainos, it's a hadama. Right. So if it's not kol, it has to add to the dish. No, licorice is binding. This beet thing is for a consistency, and it's not a binder, and it's not a flavor. It's a consistency thing. And mamela, you don't make a mezainos on consistency. It's a new yisoid in kol sheyesh ba mechameshes minim. You make a mezainos. You don't make mezainos in these two cases, unless you hold like the YU tester, who holds that both of them are because they're binders. He might be right. I don't know. That's not how I learned it.
Southern fried chicken.
Schnitzel versus southern fried chicken.
Binding is still shahata.
Right. Binding doesn't add a mezainos. It remains beets, which is ha'adama.
It has southern fried chicken. It's so thick.
Omer Rav Chisda. What?
Southern fried chicken would be.
As versus.
That's more of a.
Yeah, let's say you have
Schnitzel.
Schnitzel, you have southern fried chicken. So schnitzel is the shackle, and southern fried chicken is the maybe.
You're just trying to stick up with your shita, a binder. No, because the Gemara the Gemara says at the end that it's a binder on turnips. The Gemara never had a shayla about beets. Beets he was fine with. Oh, he went with the art school. Okay. Beets in art school. Okay, so the YU has a source. The art school says like the YU. Omer Rav Chisda. I might be wrong. I go by the art school myself also usually. What does the Mesivta say? Noam. What does the Mesivta say? What does the Mesivta say, Sammy? Somebody. Okay. Omer Rav Chisda. Tafshel shetrodim. This beet dish that we're talking about has a lot of medicinal benefits. Yafal alev, betoiv la'inayim. Everybody said I took this out today from the internet. Look at beets. They're great for your eyes. It even says mafurish on the internet. Look at all these benefits. It helps reduce blood pressure. That's the number one thing. Blood pressure. That's your heart. What? Yeah. If you add enough flour, that the flour itself becomes roy la'achila.
Makes it roy la'achila. לכן הקמח חשוב מצד עצמו ואינו בטל במות, אבל בתבשיל של טרדין, our case, אם היה מר בקמח לא היה תבשיל טוב לאכילה.
No, but I want the first, not tardin, the other one, beets. What does he say about beets? That's what I want. Look inside in his pirush on top. Anyways, going back to beets, it's great for its anti-cancer. It's a lot of great stuff here according to them. Obviously, these people grow beets. Beetroot contains P, Na, vitamins B, C, E, U, folic acid. Anyways, they do talk about eyes, even bismanenu. How did the Gemara know that it's good for the eyes? It's good for the eyes. Toiv lalev, good for the heart. V'cholshkein lebnei mayim. Over here, he also mentions a lot of good stuff for the stomach. Anyways, it also increases stamina, Rabbi said. This is if you put it on the stove top and it comes to boil and it's great. It makes a sound, tuch tuch. In other words, it's boiling up. Why had to go into the sound effects? Omer Rav Papa. Omer Rav Papa. Pshitali. And here comes the answer to the big question. Mayo de silko ke silko, umayo de lifto ke lifto, umayo de kulu shalki. All water that you cook vegetables in the water, ke kulo shilki, they all have a halacha of fruit. It's unbelievable. Why? Because when it comes to juice, we said fruit juice is shakal. All of a sudden, when it comes to vegetable juice, I don't know what this is, vegetable soup, it's like the vegetable. What's the pshat? What's the difference? If you squeeze out this, you take an orange, you squeeze it out like that, and whatever comes out, that's a shakal. That's not an orange. But if you cook a carrot in water and you drink the water, now you have to make hadam on the water. What's the difference? So the Rishonim go into this a few pshatim, three, four pshatim here. The Rashba says, what?
Because soup has the vegetables are only cooked. You don't eat them raw, really. And that is the form of the vegetables.
So the Rashba says that when the person plants it for soup, that's the reason why he plants a turnip. Why do people plant these vegetables? To put in the soup. People don't eat it as is. So mela, that's the derech achila. That would be very hard to understand. How come we make a shahakal on orange juice? These guys, they plant all their orchards are just for juice. So that'll be a problem. The Rush says, no, that is a particular thing. What do you say?
Raw juice is juice, but if it's cooked, it's part of the cooking. The vegetable changes.
The juice is not part of it? If I take the actual orange and I drink the orange, that's not part of it? But it's part of it. It is it. It's even more than soup. Soup has 10 parts water, 1 part vegetable. Over here, it's 100% orange. It says on the container, 100%. There's nothing added. That's a good shaila. What if you cooked orange? Not according to the Rashba, because you didn't plant it for that purpose. The Rush says, real quickly, the Rush says, how much time do we have? I don't even know what time it is. What? Okay. The Rush says, thank you. The Rush says that the taste of juice is different than the pre. Orange juice tastes different than biting into an orange, and therefore it's, whereas a vegetable he understands it's the same. And then the Mordechai says, I connected to this one a little bit more maybe, that soup you eat with a spoon. So it's like an oichel. Nobody takes the bowl and goes, I want to do that, my wife doesn't let. But you eat it with a spoon, so it's more of a machol, whereas juice is, you always drink juice like this, so it's a shtia, and therefore that's a shahakol, and this is more of a machol. That's what the Mordechai says. Noam doesn't like any of the 3 pshatim. If you had to choose, which one would you choose? Okay. Zok the Gemara. Bayrav Papa. Maya de Shifta. What about dill? You guys know what dill looks like? Dill. Why do people put this in their soup? So the Gemara gives 2 reasons. Lam tuki tam avdi. Do they put it in the soup to make it flavorable? Or la aburi zu avdila? Maybe it's to, what's the word? To counter, to mask. I like that. To mask the foul taste in the soup. Toshma, I'll prove it to you. It says, that's what it says.
At hotels as a garnish.
Everything.
Every single thing.
And sesames in Israel. Hasheves mishenos no tam bagdeiro ein bo mishum truma ve'eno metama tumas ochlim. The dill, once you put it into a pot of water and it imparts its flavor into the water, you no longer are over if you eat the dill. If it's truma and you're Yisrael, you're not over. Now you're eating wood. And therefore, that wood doesn't become tamei. Wood doesn't become tamei, tumas oichlim. It's only if it's food. It's no longer food. But what's the key word here? Hasheves mishenas no tam. Once it imparted flavor, you see that dill imparts flavor. It's not to mask. Shma mino. Lam tuki taima avdilo. Shma mino. Omer b'chi barashi. Pas tsnuma bakara. We have a 3-way machlokes here. Again, we're very familiar with these halachas because of Shabbos and we do all this stuff, but where's the source? When do you make a bracha of hamoitzi? Before you cut the bread or after you cut the bread? 3-way machlokes. Says Rav Chia Barashi that if you have a very tough piece of bread and you want to eat it, so you soak it in water a little bit. But when you soak it in water, it has halacha as if it's broken up now. Now it's broken up. So when do you make the bracha? In other words, are you allowed to, let's say, take your bread, you want to make hamoitzi, you take a piece of bread, you want to break it down into small crouton pieces, let's say, and throw it into your soup. Is that okay halachically? Or should you make the bracha first, take a bite, and then put it in your soup? Something like that. That's the halacha. That's the question here. Could you take care of your bread, and basically it reduces it to a broken piece of bread, and then you make a bracha? Or should you make your bracha first? Even though it's broken, you make hamoitzi afterwards. This argues with Reb Chia, bracha imapas. Says Reb Chia, we don't really do this. He says you cut the bread, and as you get to the end of the bread, you make a bracha. You make a bracha. As you get to the end of the bracha, hamoitzi lechem min haaretz, then you start cutting. So by the time you're done with the bracha, your bread is cut. But when are you cutting your bread? When is it not a shalom anymore? By the last word, it's not a shalom. Maskiv Rava doesn't make sense to me, says Rava. You're telling me that if you soak it in water, it's broken up, you shouldn't make a bracha then, you should make it beforehand. Because when you're saying the bracha, you're making it on a broken piece of bread. So what did you gain by waiting until almost the end of the bracha? But by the time the bracha is over, the bread is broken. And you're making a bracha on a broken piece of bread. This is what we do. We make the bracha, then we cut the bread. Says Tosfos, but make a little bit of a cut in it beforehand. Not that much that it ruins the shalom, but enough that you don't waste your time chopping through that tough crust, because that is a hefsek. No, I don't think we're talking about Shabbos. I don't think so.
Only time we do this is Shabbos.
On Shabbos, you're talking about like a Mishnah, whatever. But in general, I believe that there's an inyan of making a bracha on a shalom. Now, another halacha that Tosfos brings down is that you don't cut your bread, and this is interesting. It might be negel l'maisa. You don't cut the bread until you finish with the bracha. What does that mean? Until everybody finishes saying amen. So if that takes an extra 2 seconds to say amen, wait for the second or two. Don't start. Give the oilam a shot, a chance to say amen. That's the end of the bracha. What? Melech ha'olam. A slight one, not too much. Now, by the time I'm done saying Shas, I won't be able to say anything. Mr. Kornblut doesn't let me say Geshmak, because every time I say Geshmak, I think about Mr. Kornblut because he made fun of me in a drush. He didn't make fun. He said it. He says Geshmak. I know he didn't mean it, but now I can't make fun of my kids anymore because Tzvika Adler told me it's not nice to make fun of my kids. Nobody told me I can't make fun of my wife, Baruch Hashem, so I can continue with that. There's nothing I can say anymore. Melech ha'olam. I can't even say a brach anymore. Amar Avinu, Amar Li'aim. Nardoya Avdi Kirabechia. I can't even skip anymore. Nardoya Avdi Kirabechia, V'Rabban Avdi Kirava. So the people in Nardoya, they did like Rebechia, that they would say the bracha, but as they finished the bracha, they would start cutting the last word. It was not a shalom, and Rabbanan did like Rava. No, they didn't even wait to the end of the bracha. And Rabbanan did like Rava. They waited all the way until the family said amen, then they cut. Amar Ravino, Amar Li'ay. My mother told me, because he was a Yasam, his mother had to tell him what the minhagim were from his father. Avuch Ovid Kirebechia. Your father did like Rebechia. The Amar Rebechia tzarich shetichla bracha im apas. She explained it to him. You have to finish the bracha as you cut. Rabbanan avdi kirava, but you should know your father did different than Rabbanan who did like Rava. Vilchas kirava, and Allah is like Rava. That's what we do. The Amar mevarech v'achakach b'tzeh. First you finish the bracha, then you cut the bread. Itmar. Heviu lefneim pesisim ushleimim. Here's the halacha right here, the way I understand it. You have a broken piece of bread, but it's huge, it's beautiful. You have a tiny little roll. Which one do you make the bracha on? Hamaiti. Which comes first? Shalem, whole. Hillel is a mumcha in this kind of question. We're going to ask Hillel. What's the halacha, Hillel? No, you're supposed to say machlokes. Hillel. Amar Avuna. You make the bracha on the nice large one. That's what's chashuv. That's what you make a bracha on. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Shleima Mizvah Min HaMuvchar. Usually the halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan, and whoever said Shalom is probably right. Although I don't see. Oh yeah, it does say here. The Shulchan Aruch does say Shleima Mitzvah Min HaMuvchar. What? Yeah, Hillel was right this time. He's always right. Avaprusa Shel Chitim U'Shleima Min HaSoirim. What if you have a broken piece of regular grain from wheat, and the other whole, the roll, is from barley wheat? What comes first? Chita. Shechita. Divrei hakol mevarach ala prusa shel chitim u'poiteres ha'shleima shel soirim. Why? Says Tosfos, because it says in the pasuk, Eretz chita u'sa'ira. Chita is more chashav, and that's the whole sugya later. What comes first in the Shivas Haminim? It goes in order of the pasuk, but the first part of the pasuk, second part of the pasuk. But everybody agrees that chita comes before soira. Omar Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba Kitanoi. L'chayra, this goes back to Machlokes Tanoim, and the Gemara says it's not similar. It says like this: Tarmin batzal katan shalem, avaloi chati batzal gadol. You have a really tasty half onion, a nice big one, juicy, good tasting, and a small shvach. Doesn't taste very good, but it's whole. What do you give to the kohen? So Tarmin batzal katan shalem. It's better to give the small one according to the Tanakama. Rabbi Yehuda Omer loy. You give the better tasting one. That's more chashiv. That's what you give to the kohen. Isn't it our machlokes? The mar sava chashav adif, umar sava shalom adif. The question is, do you go by the better bread, the better onion? So in our shaila, going back to the closer shaila that we had, if you have barley bread that's whole and wheat bread that's broken, that would be the machlokes. Do you go by the whole, which is barley, or do you go by the better one, which is wheat? Maybe that's the machlokes over here. Same thing as the onion. Says the Gemara, if the kohen is around, no, that's not. That you can't prove anything from here. Everybody would agree that you give the half an onion because the kohen is here. You give him the better one. The better one is actually the half onion. Keep like a kohen, and it's going to go to waste. If you set aside a half onion, it's going to spoil. Nevertheless, big chiddush here. Rabbi Yehuda says, even though it will go to waste, that's what you have to designate. Your chiyuv is to give the better one. What happens to it afterwards, you don't have to worry that a kohen should get his hands on it and it shouldn't go to waste. That's not your problem. It's not. You always give the better one. Tanakama says no. Logic dictates that in this case, you reduce the chashivos. You go with a simple onion, but it's going to last longer until you find the kohen. Why throw it in the garbage? If you don't know, when it comes to truma, remember it always goes with the better one.
Better for you and better for him. No one wants half an onion.
If it's better tasting, why not?
No, it's bigger. We're talking about it's bigger.
Bigger means better. You have to say it means better.
Assume it's objectively better.
It's not. For you, it's better to have the bigger half one because you got it.
No, assuming that it tastes better. The large ones come from America. The small one comes from Mexico, let's say. It's a better onion, just tastes better. It looks better, tastes better, and it's half. A fact. I'm telling you a fact. Not in this store that this one is a centimeter larger. Two breeds, two types. What? A Russian onion. What? Yeah. I know, but they import the stuff. Yeah. Oh, you mean, okay, fine, truma. One is from the Arab village and one is from Gush Katif, and it's like this and it's juicy. Better mushel. Okay. This guy's a medaikin, I can't, whatever. Okay, fine. Zog the Gemara. Omar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchok v'yirei shomayim yotzidei shneim. I have a trick. There's a way to be yotzeh in both. If you have two pieces of bread, one is broken, one is whole. Uman umar bereder ravina the mar beravina maniach prusa b'toich hashleimu b'itzeya. You grab the two pieces of bread. You take the roll. This case right over here. You go exactly like this. You take the broken piece. You put it underneath the whole one, and you grab them. You hold them both. We said, Taisa says, the Birkas HaMaitzi has 10 words in it. The pasuk that you take the Birkas HaMaitzi has 10 words. Mamela, you hold it with your 10 fingers. You're like this, and you make HaMaitzi. And therefore, you're yaitza all the questions here. Tanatana Kameder Rav Nachman bar Yitzchok. The same thing. You make the bracha on both of them. Omar lei ma shemecha. Omar lei Shalmon. What's your name? Shalmon. Omar lei Sholemato. From your name I can tell. Ushlema mishnascha. Your Shalom means whole. Your Torah is whole. Shesamta Shalom ben Talmidim. You also put peace between Rabbi Yochanan and Rav Huna. There's no shaila anymore. Now, I'm going to ask a question. I'm playing a game with myself also. I'm trying to guess who's going to remember this name over here. Where else do we have in our Masechta that somebody asked, what's your name? And the person said their name, and he said, oh, from the name, Mr. Chazara. Hold on. So give somebody else a chance. Hold on. Yeah. And this is how he said, what's your name? And based on it, he says that the name is perfect for the story that just happened. Who said that? Mason. What do you say? Mason. When I forgot who it was, but he had a karbalta. She had a red thing, and he ripped her thing off, and then he had to pay 400. And he said, "What's your name?" Mason. Mason means 200. 200. 200.
That's not in this Masechta.
Not in this Masechta. Okay. What? And I wrote down here that you're going to know the name. Because I remember that you were like into it. But okay, fine. I failed.
Remember that?
What? Yeah. There's a lot of times in Shabbos. But okay, here it's just a few daf ago. Amra Papa Hakol Moedim bePesach. Rabbi Isai, I want you to read this carefully and tell me what you think based on this line right over here. How many matzahs does one have at his seder? Based on this line. Omer of Papa. But based on this line I said. Omer of Papa. Hakol moedim bepesach shemeniach prusa. You take the broken piece of matzah, betoich shlema, underneath. Betoich means underneath. The whole matzah, ubaitzeya, and that's how you make hamoitzi. How many matzahs does a person have at his seder? Who got 3? I'm saying based on this thing. Oh, again. Hakol moedim bepesach shemeniach prusa. You take the broken piece of matzah, betoich shlema, underneath the whole one, exactly like this case, right over here, but we're talking about matzahs. So you have 1.5. Ubeitzeya, my taima, lechem oiniksiv. Poor people, they don't usually have whole breads. They take whatever they could get their hands on. So you have lechem oini. So you're supposed to have lechem oini. So rather than having 2 beautiful matzahs, you take the broken matzah, you put it underneath, you break off a piece from the whole one, from the bottom one, and you make hamaitzi. That's why Rishonim say, such as the Rashba, that on Pesach night, you only have 2 matzahs. That's the gra. That's where the minhag hagra comes from. I had to point it out. Not me. I know a person that wears a talus all day and night, and I happen to be his son. He likes to be there. If you know me, I love fitting right in. Okay, anyway, so that's the minhag hagra. How the other Rishonim learn, I'm not exactly sure. It seems like, and everybody points out that it seems like from here that there's only 2 matzahs. Mishnah, okay. Under, but that means under. Yeah, but how does it fit before? Before there's only 2 pieces of bread. There was a shalom and a paros. So you're saying based on that, based on the betoich. Very nice.
3 matzahs.
New pshat. I wonder if the Rishonim mentioned that pshat at all. I doubt it, but it sounds good. Betoich means within. Okay, but why? He's saying you have to know the reason. It's time to say betoich. Yeah, but over here it says a paros and a hole. All right, fine. Weiter. Omar Avashi, don't skip on me. Omar Avashi, Chazina le Rav Kahana, the Noka Tarti Ubotzachada. I skip. Oh, you are right. I feel so excited. I finally caught you. Wow. 0 for 1,000. Omar Baba, Ube Shabbos Chayav Adam Leftzei Shteki Koros. We know on Shabbos you have 2 chalas. Why? My time lechem mishniksiv. Where does it say lechem mishnah? By the man. That on Friday you take double portion man. So zeichel man, we have 2 chalas. Amar Vashi, chazina leil Rav Kahana, the noket harte ubotza choda. You take 2 chalas, but only cut 1. Rav Zera have a botza akula sherusa. Now, according to Rashi, this means that Rav Zera took a giant piece of challah. Giant. That was enough for the entire meal. So if you were to eat 6 pieces of challah at a meal, he took a nice gezunta piece. He looks mamish like a fresser, it doesn't look good. Since during the weekday he has his nicely sliced bread, and all of a sudden now he's taking a tremendous portion. Everybody understands he's doing this for Shabbos. Now, where does the Goyin get the idea that you have to cut both chalas right straight down through the 2 chalas on Shabbos? From this Gemara. Because the Ari Shoinim that don't learn like Rashi, that Akula Sherusa doesn't mean he took a giant piece. It means that he went right down through both chalas. Rav Kahana cut 1, he cut 2. Rav Ami and Rav Asi, Kava Misramilu Riftadei Ruva. We're talking about Erev Chatzeros. So you have a bunch of people living in like a cul-de-sac in a chutzner, and one they share a chutzner. So each person brings a roll into one house. Doesn't matter whose house. Every time it's a different house. and they say we're all one house, we're all one rishus. So when it came the turn of Reb Ami and Reb Asi to hold on to the bread, they had a choice now. They can make hamaitzi on the challah from the bakery, or they can make hamaitzi on this eruv bread. When exactly they do it, according to the Shulchan Aruch, you're allowed to make hamaitzi the next morning on Shabbos. You don't need to hold it out for the whole Shabbos. So let's say they did it on Shabbos. The eruv lasts for the whole Shabbos. Amri, and this is a very important halacha. Once I do one mitzvah in an item, in an object, in this eruv challah, it's better to perform a second mitzvah in it rather than trying out another challah. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to our guest, David Dimbert. Shkoyach.